Hi there, good afternoon, everybody. Want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So, the show we're doing now is called This Week. It comes out every week, midday, generally speaking. It's going to be late today. Had the same issue as I had yesterday. Had stuff that had to be done early. And so I just didn't get to the point where I could do it on time. So it will come out probably around 1 or so, like yesterday. I think yesterday's is like quarter after. But anyways, it's the same kind of deal. So this show is a show we do every week in which we talk about the albums and the content for the channel for the week. So I will give you all of the regular shows first, then I'll talk about the series episodes. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about the series episode. I'll just tell you about the series in general. And I may do a little bit on some of the new shows. In fact, I will, but I think I may give you those during the regular channel show time period as we go along here. The other thing is we do talk a little bit about stuff in the past. So, as you know, we recently passed 1,000 subscriptions. I want to thank everybody for the support and the continued support, and things are going well with the channel. I will be making some changes over the next year or so as I get more and more involved in this as my work career runs down, I hope. So, anyways, yeah, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. So I did have the other thing that went was yesterday's episode was kind of late, but for the same reason where this one's going to be kind of late today. I do apologize for that, but sometimes things are beyond our control. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get to the next episode. So this this episode will come out, like I said, probably roughly around 1 o'clock or so. The next episode out is called Live Stream. It's a live stream into the Progverse. This is a show I run every Sunday night. Um, this week we're going to be doing these two albums, Caress of Steel, Fly By Night, as it is their 50th anniversary this year. So we'll be talking about those two albums for the show. Next up, and that will come out Sunday at 8. Next up is Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. This is a show I've been putting on pretty much since the beginning of the channel, in which I pick an album that is either that is 15 years and older, that's at least a like 2.5 or higher one or a masterpiece, and I talk about the album. So the album I've chosen for this week is an album I actually thought I had done, but apparently I haven't, which is Led Zeppelin's debut album. Surprised that I haven't done it, but we're going to do it this week. So that will be the classic look back at a classic rock album for this week. Will be Led Zeppelin's debut album, and that will come out Monday at 8 o'clock. Next up, mini series that Ben came up with, which is we titled the series One Question. So he gives me a question every week, and I try to answer it. And the question he's given me for this week is the top 10 bands that I had that I wish had better album covers. And it might be a little bit difficult to come up with that. I'm not sure I spent too much time looking at bands' album covers. Most of them I like, but there are some that, could have been better. So I got to pick 10 bands like that, and I will give them to you in some kind of an order. I'll let you know when we get there. So that will come out Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Next up is Favorites. This is a show I do every week, in which I pick a list of some kind, either a 5 list or a 10 list or maybe a 15 or 25, and talk about or give you a ranking or give you some kind of a list of things that follow a particular criteria. So today's list will be my top 25 favorite pop rock songs. Now, I don't normally do song rankings a lot, maybe just from the albums, because I'm an album oriented, so I don't really listen to music individually. Like, I don't listen to the radio. I don't go online to listen to one particular song. In fact, I can't remember if I've ever done that really, other than for something like Who Did It Better, where he gives me a song, so I then sometimes have to do it. But generally speaking, I don't listen to music that way. So, but this series, on this particular episode, we're going to do a top 25 favorite pop rock songs. It works pretty well for pop rock because that's pretty much how it presents itself, and that will come out Wednesday at 8. Next is another live stream. This will be the first of its kind, first episode, and will continue on Thursday nights every week, replacing the other two shows, which I've moved to a different slot. The live stream is going to be called Hammer of the Gods from this album. And coincidentally, the first topic will be on the song, The Immigrant Song, which you'll see is right here at the back on the first track on the album, and its significance in rock history and in Led Zeppelin's discography. So we'll be talking about that. So again, another one song type thing we don't normally do, but I'm going to do it this week. And so that live stream will come out Thursday at 8. You can find these in my live. If you press the live thing, it'll show you when exactly they're going to come out. Next up is Friday. Who Did It Better? This is another show in which Ben and me came to. He gives me a song and with two different artists that have done it, and then I have to pick which one I think is better. And so the song he gave me was Worms from Gordon Haskell. Now, it's covered by Stack Ridge, but it has a totally different title. No one more important, no one more important than the Earthworms. So that is the title of the song, but it's basically the same song. So we'll be doing that for Who Did It Better on Friday at 8 o'clock. Okay, so we move to Saturday. So the first show, other than the series we're running, the first show in the morning will be at 9 a.m. This is another live stream. This will be the third one this week. It's going to be entitled 70s Hard Rock Ranking. So this show will only come out once a month. Usually, I think I'll probably just pick one day during the month or one Saturday during the month when it looks like I'll be free to do it, and I will do it on that day. But you'll have plenty of notice. I'll put the video out a week or so ahead so that you know what's coming. So 70s hard rock ranking, basically pretty much what it sounds like. We will pick one hard rock band from the 1970s and we'll rank their discography, but only the discography from the 1970s, nothing from the 60s, nothing from the 80s. And if the band has albums in the 80s, they won't be included in the ranking. And the first one we're going to do is Kiss, and this will be all of their albums, not just their studio albums, but their live albums. And in the case of Kiss, they have 4 solo albums at that same time period. So we'll be doing those as well. So we're going to rank all of them for that particular episode. So that's the live stream. That will come out Saturday at 9 a.m. The next show out is also on Saturday. It comes out at 12 p.m. And that's Masterpiece, Battle of the Masterpiece albums. Got a good one this week. So last week, Styx won. They're back again in the competition with Pieces of 8. Close to the Edge is also on here. Genesis, Selling England by the Pound, and also Caress of Steel, which is doing double duty this week because it's going to be on the live stream at the beginning of the week. So that's what we're doing for the Battle of the Masterpiece albums, coming out at 12 noon on Saturday. Next up, we have Hidden Gems for this week, but this is where both of the shows have moved to. They're both going to be at 4 o'clock on Saturday. So Hidden Gems and Outlier, which is the other show, will both air bi-weekly on at this time slot. Hidden Gems this week, I've picked an album that it's hard to say this is really an outlier because of who it's from, but I just find it they get a ton of attention on everything, but not as much on this particular album, which I like quite a bit, although this cover has been used on other albums too. And so we're going to be talking about the Beatles. Please Please Me. I like this. This is a really solid album. I'm going to spend some time talking about it, which will be the hidden gem for this week, which will come out Saturday at 4. Next up is Saturday at 8, which is What's New. I'm finally going to do the Ekelin thing that I've wanted to do. So we're going to do the one of the two albums that came out. I think it came out pretty much back to back, I think. Times Silent Radio 2, and then we'll do Times Silent Radio 4. And then probably by then the Styx album will be out and we'll be doing that one. So that's what we're doing for what's new this week at 8 o'clock on Saturday. So that's all of the regular shows for the week. In addition to that, I also have the series for the month of July, my 31 favorite rock albums from 1969. We're moving right along here, so we'll be coming in today with number 24, which you saw this morning. If you want, I think you can go back and watch that episode. And then we have a further 6 more episodes for the week by 6 more bands and 6 more albums. I think there's some interesting stuff here, some stuff that you would expect, and some stuff you probably wouldn't even guess at, and other stuff you probably wouldn't even know about. So we're going to try a little bit of everything this week, I guess, as we move up the charts for the series for the month of July. My 31 favorite rock albums from 1969. Lots of stuff here. So, anyways, in addition to all of what I just said, we're going to also, maybe I'll leave this for next week. I think the show is kind of long enough now. And we'll talk a little bit next week about what series I'm going to be doing for the month of August. And on the occasion, too, now that I've reached that 1,000 mark in subscriptions, I may throw a couple of one-offs in here on a day when I have a chance to do so. Last week I did 2 of them, actually. I've got a couple in mind to do this week, so they may come out here or there when there's opportunity to put them in. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of this week, and I hope to see you throughout the week for various shows. And please hit the like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or any things that you might like to see, you can put those in the comment section and I try to squeeze them in where I can. Anyways, have yourself a good day, a good night, and good evening, and goodbye. And we will see you next show on the Prog Monster. Take care and goodbye.